Good morning, Thursday morning. Adam having trouble just keeping up with that forecast. It keeps changing. Doesn't seem to be any trends at all so far in the last 4 weeks.
Yeah, well, the trend has just been up and down. Wild swings in the temperature. The jet stream fairly active. We get into a warmer pocket of air. We get right back into a colder one. And that's the story today. Temperatures now, they're mild to get the morning started. Well, relatively speaking, sitting at 0, heading up to a high of +3 today in front of this cold front that is going to drop those temperatures down quite considerably. We're not going to get to the -20 range, but we may get down to -15 here as we head throughout the overnight. Take a look at the future temperatures here. Up to about the 3-degree mark there for noon, 2 degrees in Ottawa, and then that cold front really gets going as we head into the afternoon. And by 5, we drop to -5. So if you're trying to plan your wardrobe during the day today, I would lean toward the colder air arriving for that evening commute. And then as we get into the overnight lows, down to about that -15 mark. So -20s across central Ontario. And staying cold as we go through the day. This model's a little more pessimistic about the temperature outlook during the day tomorrow. I do think we'll get up to about -9. For the high temperature. Today, though, we do have a quick pulse of some wet snow coming along that cold front with temperatures around 3 degrees. We'll put that down, and then the temperature drops off rapidly. Some of the untreated road surfaces could be a little slippery during the day today. But again, that colder air moves through, and it's going to be a bit on the breezy side as well. So don't necessarily dress for 3 degrees. I dress for about -5, feeling like -12. And then we'll see temperatures all the way down to -14 to get the morning started. There for Friday, -9 in the forecast, down to -12 for Saturday, up to -4. Snow arriving late Saturday, continuing into Sunday. Colder air expected on Monday, and then another snow chance coming our way toward the middle part of next week. That's a check on the forecast. How are the roads this morning, Carrie?
Well, not too bad. It really depends where you are right now, Adam. A couple of delays that we're looking at. There is a collision southbound on the 400, just south of Major Mackenzie. That's leading to a heavy backup as you approach that problem. We'll look at the drive times in just a second. The other issue is on the eastbound 401 at Trafalgar. There's another collision blocking the left lane there. And eastbound 401 already really slow from just east of Highway 25 over to those problems at Trafalgar. Let's look at the cameras right now because we just had some construction that cleared away on the east 401 east of Islington. It was there for a while, but there's that backup from the 427. And the drive times on the east 401 from Highway 25 to Trafalgar already adding more than 10 minutes to your drive through that stretch. There's a look at the southbound 400 from Highway 9 down to Rutherford, almost a half hour to get through there. And the westbound 401 running problem-free so far this morning, but it is starting to fill in off and on from Morningside to Bayview. That's it for traffic. I'll send it downstairs to you, Tammy.
Toronto police expected to start digging in the backyard of a Leaside home in the next few days in search of evidence in the Bruce McArthur case. The alleged serial killer is accused of murdering at least 5 men. Police have erected a tent on the property on Mallory Crescent and are thawing the ground. Forensic anthropologists are expected to start excavating by hand sometime later this week or early next week. Homicide detectives say there are the remains of at least 3 people in planters removed from the Leaside home. More than a dozen planters are still being processed by forensics teams from different parts of the city. Investigators are also searching the basement of that home, although cadaver dogs didn't detect anything prompting a search there. A 66-year-old McArthur faces 5 first-degree murder charges in the deaths of Andrew Kinsman, Salim Essen, Majid Kayan, Saroush Mahmoudi, and Dean Lissowick. And we have a live look now at the Church Bistro 555 just north of Wellesley. According to the Toronto Star, the owner of this restaurant says that McArthur sold him planters and was a regular at the establishment at one time. But police say that because the planters are inside, they're not expected to contain any human remains. No odor has been detected. Bruce McArthur's next court appearance is February 14th. We'll know who the Ontario PCs have elected as their new leader on March the 10th. Party members will choose a successor to the recently resigned Patrick Brown.
Leadership race is on. We came as a united, strong mandate for the new leader that's going to be elected and the next PD member of Ontario.
Party members will vote electronically in the early part of March. Candidates will have to fork out $100,000 to get into the race, a $75,000 fee, and then a $25,000 deposit. The PCs have set a spending limit of $750,000 per candidate. MPP Vic Fideli is the interim leader and says he will not chase the party's top job. The only declared candidate is former Doug Ford. The winner will lead the PCs into the June 7th provincial election. Well, a major recall for Toyota affecting nearly 4,600 Canadian customers, but more than 645,000 worldwide. The problem? Airbags that may not inflate during a crash. The Canadian models being recalled include the 2016 Toyota Prius and Lexus RX vehicles, as well as the 2015 and 2016 Lexus NX models. An electrical problem may prevent the front and side airbags from going off. Owners will be notified of the recall by mail. Those letters will start going out in March. An update on the Great Canadian Bread scandal. The Competition Bureau now alleging that wholesalers Canada Bread and George Weston Limited, as well as grocers Loblaw, Walmart Canada, Sobeys, Metro and Giant Tiger, all met to reach deals to fix prices on bread. According to documents, Canada Bread and George Weston senior officers agreed to boost bread prices by about 7 cents for about a decade, starting in 2001. The suppliers then met with retail customers to get their approval for the price hike, and the retailers agreed to boost the prices and then fix the price on the condition that their competitors would do the same. With the Winter Olympics just over a week away, Councillor Mike Layton wants Toronto hockey fans to be able to share a drink in bars and restaurants during Canadian hockey games.
People are going to be out watching the games, and people do enjoy the company of others when they're watching sporting events. And we know that the Olympics are one of those occasions when people do want to be out and celebrating.
Layton wants bars and restaurants to be able to serve drinks a little earlier than is usually allowed, but that's only for the semifinals and the finals of the men's and women's hockey games in South Korea. Olympic fans will have to be up pretty early, though, to watch those games. Some of the events really are going to be up early because of the difference in the time zones. The Pyeongchang Winter Olympics opening ceremonies next Friday, February the 9th.